Question of the day: what is the most stressful experience you've had in gaming? It could be anything. It could be, man, I just need one more dice roll, I really want to flip this card, or we're going to get beat by this boss, or I can't believe if I get away with this, I'm going to take all 7 castles in 2 turns. Those kind of things, stressful things that you're just holding it under pressure. Well, today we're talking about a game that is literally built on stress. The entire point of this game is to be stressed for about 5 minutes, less if you're not that great at it. Because today we're talking about a game called Kites. Now, Kites is a game in which you're playing cards down, but when you play a card down, you're going to flip a sand timer. When the timers run out, a timer runs out, you have to then evaluate your score. So let's take a look right now at what Kites is, what it does, and we'll come back up and talk final thoughts, because those are the only 2 components, are cards and sand timers. So not a lot to it components-wise, but a lot of, well, we'll see. So this is Kites. Basically, you have these cards here with the different colors on them, which correspond to different colors of sand timers. Now, the other thing too, there are symbols that also relate to the symbols if you need to use the symbols instead of the colors. Now, each of these sand timers has a different length of time in it, and we're going to put them in order of that length of time. So essentially what's going to happen is you're going to let them empty out. I'll tell you what, let's flip them over to start. Now, when you start the game, they're going to start obviously empty. Now, it does recommend that you start with them laid down, but we just started ours face up because we never actually got confused on which ones had been played and had been played. When the game starts, you'll flip this white one over face up, and as it starts to trickle down, you'll start playing cards. Now, when you play a card, you must flip the sand timers with the colors you flip. So if I only had, because the amount of cards you get changes based on player count, if I only have these 3 cards in my hand, well, obviously red and orange, or just red, is getting flipped. Notice the art corresponds. I love that. So if I play this, let's say we start, boom, there it goes. That one's going down. I play that. Now I would then have to reach over and flip these 2. Now the rules do state that the person who plays the card has to turn it. So then I will draw back up. So you put a couple draw decks around. Now then the next person will play. Now let's just say the next person also has this orange and red. Now they could do one of 2 things. Since only this and these 2 are running right now, they could sit here and wait, knowing, because if someone says, oh, I can flip the white timer, they can actually wait and hold on to this. Right before this runs out, they can flip this back. That's part of the strategy, is waiting or playing. A color of 1 on a card can either flip just that sand timer or the white one. So that's how you flip this back over. So let's just say that I play this, I flip this. The next person goes, oh, I'm going to flip these real quick. Boom, flip it, keep going. That's all you're going to be doing, is playing and flipping. Now, it sounds very simple until you realize how wildly stressful this gets. That when you have to start calling out, you know, who's got this color? Do you have this? Can you flip this? Can you get it back around to me? I can flip this one. That is the game, though. Now, these make it a little bit more difficult. An airplane, twisted ropes, and a storm. A storm will make everybody flip all the timers over. I believe that's right, sorry. Yeah, you flip all the timers over. The airplane, you can't speak because like you have no sound. And then there's one other one where they get twisted. You'll pass a card to the left. But essentially, you're going to play this until the end of the game. Then you're going to check your score, kind of peg game style, against that little chart right there. That is how you play Kites. It is very simple to learn. I mean, I just taught it to you in less than 3 minutes, but the game is just wildly stressful to master. So that is Kites. Time to fly. So that is Kites. Now, let me just say first and foremost, I love this game. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I love the stress of this game because it just is a blast. Playing it every single moment, like you have to psych yourselves up and talk yourselves into like, here we go, we're going to do it this time. And it's one of those, as soon as you play, you're going to play again and again and again and again, try to get better and better and better. What I love about this game is the communication of like, okay, if I do this now, can you do this? And it gets frantic and stressful, and I'm just talking a mile a minute, you know, just like flying through it, just ripping through, trying to like, oh, can you do this? Can I do this? What about this? Can you play this? And the stress of it is the most fun part to me. So I love how the game looks too. I love that people walk past the table and go, what in the world is happening here? Why are they frantically flipping over these sand timers? And I love how it is. It's just a simple kite game. Let me just give a little plug to the art. What I really love about the art is the individual kites in the art are also colored by the same colors that they're flipping over. So just a nice little nod. The difficult cards, the airplane, the crosswires, all that stuff is tricky and difficult too. It adds a little bit of a wrinkle, but I like even just playing the base game without them because it's just so much fun to try to see if you can puzzle out the game and work together as a team and hope that you get the cards. And if you don't have the cards between you as a crew, hurry up and play stuff fast enough to where you flip to where somebody will finally draw a blue. For some reason in our game, finding blues is the hardest card to find when we need it. And so the other thing I like is I love that the timers are spaced out in time. Some of them are short, some of them are long. And having that difference and knowing, okay, red, if I flip it, we've got to move quick. Purple, not so much. We've got a few minutes, or a minute and a half or whatever. This is a tremendous game. I love playing this. I think this kills Hanabi for me. Like, this feeling is so stressful and it adds that wrinkle. I really think you're going to need to try this. So I highly recommend Kites. Can't say enough good things about it from Floodgate. Go check it out. Kites is a brilliant, brilliant game. It's quick. It doesn't take a lot of table room, and it will get your people so involved with each other playing and having a good time. So that is Kites from Floodgate. I'm Brian Drake here on the Dice Tower. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, etc. at Dice Tower Brian. Until next time.